I want to take a moment to talk about the market pump right now and the dip that we're going to see following this pump. Everyone loves to talk about Bitcoin when it's pumping, when it's in green, when the charts are green, when social media is celebrating. But what people forget is what it took to get here. If we just look at last cycle alone, Bitcoin went through 7 very major and brutal corrections. 2 of minus 17%, minus 32%, minus 26%, minus 28%, and a very big correction of minus 51%, and then another minus 25% following this correction. So what we've seen in previous cycle is actually nothing compared to the small dips of 5% for Bitcoin that we're seeing right now. And think about that for a second, 7 times. The market looked like it was breaking. 7 times headlines screamed that Bitcoin was dead. 7 times people who believed were laughed at. They were told they were crazy. And yet, every single time, those same people later got caught lucky, unfortunately. But let's be honest, it wasn't luck at all. It was conviction that kept them sticking around and their belief. It was the courage that kept them showing up when it felt like the world was against them. It took a lot of discipline to hold through fear, uncertainty, and doubt when everything in your body was telling you to quit. And it's not easy. So if you've managed to stick around, congratulations. If you've been around for some time in this space, you would know how much conviction and effort it takes to remain calm, to try to ignore your emotions. This market, this crypto space is a brutal roller coaster. If you're managing to master your emotions, I can guarantee you that you would succeed in this space. And if you look to the reality of the world that we live in today, only less than 4% of the entire world owns Bitcoin and is actually in crypto. That means 96% of people are still on the sidelines, and you're ahead of 96% of the people in this world. Just for a moment, think what that means. We're talking about an asset with a fixed supply. Only 21 million tokens will ever exist. And at the same time, we're seeing growing institutional demand. We're seeing hedge funds, banks, ETFs, even governments participating and recognizing Bitcoin's value. Just think about that and realize what we're talking about here. Honestly, you don't need to be a math genius to understand what happens when demand keeps rising, but supplies stays the same. Look at gold. Look at silver, and Bitcoin is even more valuable than those two assets. And just to give you an example, here's something that you can probably relate to. Imagine you're in the early days of the internet, maybe in the 1990s. People are calling it useless, nobody believes in it, nobody was using it, stock crash, companies collapse, and yet the ones who believed, the ones who held Amazon, the ones who held Apple through the chaos, they're the people who managed to change their lives. And if you stick to the same, you would accomplish the same success. Bitcoin is no different. It's volatile, it's very messy, it shakes out the weak hands, but this is exactly what it makes it powerful. If you think about it, it rewards those who stay the course, who remain with high conviction and stick to what they believe in. Today the market is pumping. You're happy, we have the conviction tomorrow markets will dump. You will start panicking again, seeing these corrections, but just remember to zoom out and that corrections are not the end. Corrections are the price of admission for general wealth. Look at it in this way. Every dip, every crash, every moment of doubt, that's the market testing you. And that's the moment where most people quit, during those small tests. But winners, those who manage to make it through, these big winners, they see corrections as opportunities. They understand that wealth is transferred during downturns, not at the top of the hype cycle. And I want you to understand that because this is what would drive your success in crypto, not chasing hype, not trying to build wealth when we're at the bull phase. The moment when you can create wealth is when you actually buy those dips and you see those dips and corrections as opportunities. When everyone else is scared, when we are in fear, this is the time when you should be buying and accumulating. So let me ask you now a question. Where do you want to stand? Do you want to be part of the 96% of those who sit on the sidelines and watching history pass by? Or do you want to be in the 4% who had the vision, the courage, the patience to act when it mattered the most? Because I can tell you what's coming. One day, adoption will accelerate. Institutions will go all in, and they're already going all in. Retail will be experiencing fear of missing out and buying Bitcoin when it reaches, let's say, 200K. And the people who doubted, you. The ones who laughed when you said you believed in Bitcoin, they'll look at you and say, whoa, you were so lucky. The same history, the same story repeats every single time. But deep down, you should know that this wasn't luck. This was patience, this was discipline, and this was your refusal to quit. So I want you to focus here. Next time you see red candles, the next time fear spreads across the market, remind yourself, this is what greatness feels like in real time. History isn't comfortable. Opportunity doesn't announce itself with fireworks, especially in this space. It shows up covered as struggle, wrapped in fear, hidden in uncertainty. Just please remember that. Because only those with vision, only those with conviction get to unwrap this opportunity and this success. So stay strong, stay focused, stay patient. Don't jump on the hype right now because we'll see a correction shortly after. The markets don't move just in one direction. In the next shakeout tomorrow, just remember that the future belongs to those who can endure today and tomorrow's storms and hold on long enough to see the after tomorrow's sunshine. Stick to that and make this as your reminder every single day, every time you start doubting yourself. This isn't luck, this is conviction, it's patience, and is discipline. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.